some very weird and funny reasons because of which a gully cricket used to get stopped. There have been so many times where a car had to pass, or a player says, "I have some work at home and I'll come a little later." Right? You all must have experienced such stories and such instances while playing gully cricket. But you must be thinking that it happens in gully cricket only. Well, no, that's where you are wrong. It happens in international matches as well. There have been times where fire engines have come to the stadium, or a time where car entered onto the pitch and it stopped the match. These are really very shocking and strange reasons, but they're all true. In today's video, we'll be talking some of the very weird reasons because of which cricket matches had to be stopped. So on that note, let's begin. So let's first begin with the car incident only. Well, I bet you it's one of the strangest reasons because of which a match had to be stopped. It's a story from November 2017 when Ranji Trophy match was going between Delhi and Uttar Pradesh at Palam Sports Club. The match was going very smoothly until a man thought to drive his car into the stadium. Yes, he eventually drove his car into the stadium, then he drove onto the pitch and parked his car. The umpires and players were saving themselves from that car because they had never expected a car would come in between the match. Well, after a short while, the owner of the car and the car were escorted out of the stadium, and then umpires and the match referee came to examine the pitch whether the tires had damaged it or not. Thankfully, no damage happened and the match was resumed little later. But this is surely one of the very strangest reasons. I mean, who could think that in a very important domestic match, a car would barge in to stop the match? Now let's talk about the bees attack. Well, bees have a special place in cricket's history because they have attacked in so many matches and have stopped so many matches that it's very important to talk about them. The first incident happened in 1981 where bees injured quite a few players and officials. Similar kind of incident happened during 2019 ICC World Cup where South Africa and Sri Lanka were playing one of their group stage matches. In the 48th over, a swarm of bees stormed into the field and all the players had to save their lives. At that point of time, Chris Morris was completing his over and Isuru Udana and Suranga Lakmal were batting. The bees entered into the field. All players were in a lot of confusion what to do, and then they did exactly what needs to be done. All of them laid on the ground on their stomach and saved their lives. The match was resumed a little later when umpires were sure that it's safe to resume. It was a really funny and a weird incident for the two batters on the ground and all the South African fielders. Similar kind of incident was also seen in 2017 between Sri Lanka and South Africa. And on that note, there is some relation of South Africa and Sri Lanka match with the bees, because in this match at Wanderers, the bees entered into the field and the match was stopped for an hour. Similar incident also happened with Indian team when in 2008 they were playing test match against Australia and bees entered into the field at Firozshah Kotla, Delhi. This is actually one of the very common incidents, as I said, but really a dangerous one because bees can be really dangerous. But so far there have been incidents where lives have been saved and there haven't been many injuries, so to say. But the matches have been delayed for a quite long time. Now you tell me, have you ever thought that a burnt toast can stop the match? Yes, you heard me right, a burnt toast. Well, that's exactly what happened during Sheffield Shield match between New South Wales and Queensland in Brisbane in 2017. The match was going really well until the fire engines came into the stadium. Everybody had thought that there must be a fire, but that was not the case. So how did the fire alarms went off? Why did they ring? It's because of Australia's leading spinner Nathan Lyon. Nathan Lyon is known for his spinning abilities, but definitely not here for his toasting abilities. He had actually overcooked the toast, because of which the smoke went off and the fire alarms rang. The fire engines were there on the spot to figure out how to, resume the match. The match was halted for around 30 minutes before the authorities gave us green signal to resume it. Now let's talk about a very recent incident that happened during a T20I match between India and South Africa in Guwahati. Well, there was a special visitor to watch that match. A snake. Yes, a snake was there on the field, and it was first noticed by South Africa's Wayne Parnell, who was fielding at the extra cover. He spotted the snake and alerted everyone on the field. At the end of the 7th over, we saw that the ground staff was running with sticks and a bucket to get that snake. It could have turned really bad, but thankfully it didn't. The ground staff took the snake out of the ground and then the match resumed. Well, cricket is a very interesting game, and when such non-cricketing reasons stop the match, it becomes really funny as well. I also know that nobody wants to see a match being stopped midway because it breaks the momentum of the match. But what can we do if a snake enters on the ground or bees attack? It becomes really important to stop a game to ensure players' safety and umpires' safety. However, it was all about the reasons why some international and important domestic matches got stopped. You can share your such instances where your gully cricket or a match that you were playing got stopped for a very weird or an interesting reason. You can tell us all your stories in the comment section down below, and you can also subscribe to our channel CricketNext to stay tuned with such interesting and fun videos.